Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live right here on Mike Avery Outdoors. My name is Mike Avery, and as always, glad to have you along with us. This is something I do every Wednesday night on the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page, Mike Avery Outdoors YouTube channel, and Avery Outdoors on Twitter as well. Something I started a few years ago, in fact, and now it's just kind of something that's become a Wednesday night staple, right? And that's why, and it's live, so that's why we call it Wednesday Night Live. Rich and Shelly, how are you this evening? Hello, Jason. It was good to see you the other day. Richard, Mike, Gary, good evening, my friends. Hello, Bernie. Glenn, I got your text, Glenn. I got your text. Bernie, good evening to you as well. James, nice to have you with us. Well, let's see who's with us. Kevin's with us tonight. Ed Bolanowski of Speedy Blaze is with us. We'll be bringing him in later to give away some Speedy Blaze. Hello, John. How are you, Uncle Johnny? COVID quarantine on the farm. My Bearwoods are looking promising, aren't they? Good evening, Chuck. How are you? Yeah, the Bearwoods are looking very, very good. Matthew checking in. Where did I see Matthew checking in? From Goodrich. How are things in Goodrich? Chuck, good evening. Elliot, I saw a post from you on how you're dealing with COVID. I found that very, very insightful. So thank you for sharing that. Bob, congrats on your nice bear. Yes, I posted the picture because I had permission to do so. I'm Lyle. I appreciate that, and I will try to shoot some video. I will shoot some video of my bear, and I'm going up there Friday. There's the man, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the guy I'm going to go hunt with, Johnny Bowler, the man, the myth, the legend, the whitetail whisperer, the bear whisperer. Johnny has been working hard to keep the baits active, and the bait that I'm going to be sitting on has multiple daytime bears at this point. Now, there's nothing saying, because this is hunting, there's nothing saying that I couldn't get there Friday and something weird happened and the bait just shut right down. Or maybe I got a bad smell to me and the bears don't like it. I mean, I'm going to go in there as absolutely scent-free as I can, but it's hunting. And even though I'm sitting right on that bait, I'm 13 yards from the bait, but I'm hunting with a recurve, so I need to be that close. Things can go wrong. I'm hoping and praying they don't. With any luck, Friday night, I'll have a bear down. Keep in mind, my last Michigan bear hunt, I had a bear walk by me a half hour into the opening night, and I let it go because I wasn't ready for my hunt to be over. On this hunt, I'm not going to do that. I'm not necessarily going to shoot the first bear I see unless the first bear I see is a nice bear. It is my goal to shoot a nice Michigan bear as my first Michigan bear with my recurve. Does it have to be 300 pounds? Nope. If it's 300 pounds, will I be a happy guy? Yep. I'd say anything over about 2.5, I'll be pretty happy with. I love this post, Bernie. You went out and bought a new bolt action 30-06 today. You didn't really need it, but you have 6 grandsons, and one of them will have it one day. Can't argue with that. Elliot's dad is hammering big kings right now in the rivers. Johnny says he's not going to let that happen. You're getting a bear and a nice one at that. Johnny meaning he's not going to let those baits slow down. And I'm hearing stories now across the state as the acorns start to drop and everything else that a lot of people's baits across the state, bear baits, are starting to slow down, but not Johnny's. Not Johnny's. Good evening, Norm. How are things in Beaverton? Hey, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Here, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to give away some Speedy Blaze. Did you see my video? Hey, Scott's checking in from Buffalo County, Wisconsin. Hey, Scott, how you doing, buddy? Last week, I was live at the Apex Marine Plant in St. Louis, Michigan. This week, live here in my home office, my home studio, we're going to give away some Speedy Blaze. Next week, the contest ends. More about those in just a minute. But we got two contests going on right now. One with Speedy Blaze, Michigan brand meats, primal tree stands, Wraith blinds, and of course, Speedy Blaze. The other one with primal stands and outdoor pregame. You hope to see video of the bear hunt? Johnny says the proof is in the camera, and he's got a lot of pictures of daytime bears. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? When he was, I am taking some Mike Avery hunter sticks with me. So you got her done, eh, Bill? Good for you. You know, Bill, you are the only guy. Where are you? Right there, Bill. You are the only guy that I have ever let use the audio from my Fred Bear interview. The only guy, and I've been asked several times. All I asked in return is that you let me voice one of your books one time. That's just a joke, kind of. Need your investigation skills. The CWD funding was granted to our DNR, yet they don't have the money for testing. Where did the money go? It's a good question. Because I was told on the radio show that there is not money for CWD testing like there has been in the past. So the CWD testing is going to be strongly curtailed this year, and so are the DNR deer check stations. We're not going to see nearly as many of them. Not all of the hunter sticks are for you, Johnny. Some of them are for me. Yeah, that's an interesting story with the big bear. I am going to have a great bear hunt. Is it cool there yet? No, it's still warm up in the UP right now. But Johnny says the bears are still moving. Oh, the Angler Quest has been officially retired for the season. I ran it over to Linwood Beach last Thursday. It was it was blowing pretty hard, yet that Angler Quest, of course, can handle it, and so can I. So it's over there. You like the changes in the live show, huh? Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. And tonight's is pretty calm. There's a lot of really fancy things I could be doing with my live shows. Deer approaching. Good luck on your bear. Good luck to you, Scott. Go get that buck. That sounded like was it Nugent or? UP state rep has a bill that would limit DNR trespassing on private land without a warrant. Good luck. Autumn party. I was out for the early doe hunt last weekend. I was out there with my recurve. Did not get a shot. Did not get a chance. Bonnie says hubby went back up to the cabin in Schoolcraft County. It was 86 today at 4:00. That's not going to be conducive to bear movement, is it? The governor used the CWD funds for her dang roads. Richard, it's okay to say damn roads because our illustrious governoress said damn roads, damn roads, damn roads over and over during her campaign. So she got elected on that. So I want the roads fixed. I don't care about COVID. I don't care about CWD. She promised she was going to fix the roads. If she doesn't fix the roads, vote her out of there. Johnny says, you won't believe how much help we're going to have dragging your bear out. Everyone says they're coming this weekend. They want to be here when Mike gets his bear. You're putting a lot of pressure on me, Johnny. A lot of pressure on me. Oh, check this out. Dan's daughter shot her first deer out of the new Primal Wraith 270. Love that blind. Send you a picture very soon. I'd love to see it. Contest. All right. Before we get into our Speedy Blaze giveaway tonight, two contests we're running right now. One is the Hunter contest put on by our friends at Speedy Blaze. If you go to speedyblaze.com/contest, speedyblaze.com/contest, there you'll find a list of retail stores here in Michigan that are participating in the giveaway. If you go to one of those stores and you take your phone out and you scan the QR code at that store, then you can enter the contest. Grand prize is a Primal Tree Stands Wraith 270 see-through ground blind. Second prize is a solo stove. Third through 10th prizes are Michigan brand meats and Speedy Blaze products. So it's certainly worth your while. The contest ends a week from today, I think at 5:00. But I do know that at 1 week from tonight during Wednesday Night Live, we are going to announce the winners. We're going to get real fancy that night. We're going to try. Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands will be live with me to announce that winner. Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats will be with me to announce that winner. And somebody, probably Ed Bolanowski or perhaps Sherm Hubbard, will be with me to announce the Speedy Blaze winners as well. That's coming up a week from today. But go to speedyblaze.com/contest. The other thing we're having, did that today at Jay's. Kelly Schindell's last minute hunting stuff. The other thing we have, and you could also win a Primal 270 ground blind, is this one's on Instagram. So you have to follow my Instagram page. You have to follow Primal Tree Stand's Instagram page, and you have to follow Outdoor Pregame's Instagram page. You have to comment on my post and share it with a friend, and then you can be entered. Flicker minnows is what your dad is hammering kings with. Thought I'd appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Being 13 yards from the bear, that pressure. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, facetious, or serious, John. The thing about, I like to be about 15 yards with my recurve, about 15 yards. 13 is a little too close. There's not a lot of room to breathe, literally right there. But just because of the way the setup was, 13 yards is where it worked out. The problem with being 13 yards away is obviously, hey, Gabe, how you doing, bud? Ladies and gentlemen, Gabe Van Warmer, a Michigan outdoor icon. Gabe, nice to have you along with us, my friend. The thing about, okay, I like to see, Johnny says, a million things can go wrong, but we only need a couple of them to go right. Good point, Johnny. So the thing about hunting with this recurve, I'm right on top of this. I'm not the shooting expert that Gabe Van Warmer is. So I want to be up close and personal. 13 yards is a little bit too close, but that's the way it worked out. But at 13 yards, there is so little room for error. If the bear sees you, hears you, or smells you, if it's a big bear, you're probably not going to get a shot at him. So wouldn't it be, if I was hunting with a crossbow, I'd be 30 yards back there, and that would give me a little bit more breathing room. But I choose the recurve, along with the challenges and the rewards that brings. And we'll see what happens. I've killed a bear with my recurve last year in Ontario. This would be my first Michigan bear, and to do it with a Michigan-made Predator recurve would be so very cool. Can I tell you who's on the radio show this week, and then we'll give away some Speedy Blaze? Oh, you were serious. I appreciate that. John says he's serious. He doesn't think he could do it. I'll tell you what, John, I will admit, when I first started bear hunting, I was a little bit spooked by bears. Think about it. They're multiple hundreds of pounds, 200-300 pounds. They have claws. They have teeth. And you hear stories about don't get between a sow and cubs, right? All right, Johnny. See you tomorrow. Good question. I'll come back to this. But I'm not spooked by bears at this point. I've been on enough bear hunts. I've seen enough bears. I'm excited. Every time I see a bear, I get excited. But I'm not spooked by them. I'm not afraid of them. If I was afraid of them, I'd be hunting from a tree stand rather than on the ground with them. Mike has an interesting question. What kind of scent block are you using to get that close? I will not be wearing scent lock, although that would be a good choice because I'm going to be wearing, although it's going to be hot. Here's the thing. It's going to be really too hot to wear any hunting clothes, right? So I'm probably going to have on jeans and a long sleeve black t-shirt. But I'll take a shower before I go out. My friends at Hunter Safety System have come out with a very good scent elimination lineup. So I'll use the body wash, and then they have some stuff that you rub on that kills bacteria. And then my clothes have, I'll treat them with a spray, and they're sealed right now in a scent lock bag inside a tote. And then also I'm going to use, while I'm out there in the blind, a little scent lock an ozone generator. Now, I don't know if I believe in them or not, but I'm going to take one with me. It's quiet, and If it helps, it's worth it, right? Interesting. Only time you have to worry about a bear is if it's trying to get a hold of you. Good point. Hey, Terry, how are things in Shingleton? I was going to say home of Iverson Snowshoes, but they've moved over to Rapid River with, haven't they? Moved over to Rapid River with Chris Durson of Rapid River Knife Works. If I'm wrong, please correct me. 4 or 5 more years until you get your Red Oak tag. Didn't think to put in points when you were in the Army. Well, thank you for your service. Here's one thing I'm learning. If this hunt with Johnny goes as well as I think it's going to go, meaning if I even see a bear, and I'm confident I will, rather than wait 9 years and put in for a first season tag in either Red Oak or Newberry, I will put in for a tag every year, and every third year I will hunt the third season. I'm liking this so far. I'm liking it a lot. You think so? Okay. Real quick, who's on the show this week, and then we'll give away some Speedy Blaze. John Gorham of Linwood Beach Marina is with me talking about winterizing. I hate to use that term already. Winterizing your boat. Like my boat is done. It's getting winterized by the folks at Linwood Beach Marina. John Gorham's talking about that. Cal Yider of the Yider Insurance Group with tips on how to insure our hunting and fishing toys, gear, and equipment. And Keel Jorgensen from Woods and Water News talks about the challenge of taking the venerable print publication, Woods and Water News, and ensuring that it's viable into the future, into the digital world. He's a young guy with a young mind. He's the right guy to do that. In hour number 2, we're talking with Lieutenant Jason Wickland from the DNR about changes that hunters will be dealing with this fall. Also, some common mistakes hunters make, including trespass and not tagging your critter. Then Nick Green from MUCC joins me to talk about the pheasant stamp program. And in hour number 3, we're talking fishing with Ali Shakur. Ali Shakur is a fisheries biologist and a tournament fisherman. He talks about big fall walleye on Lake Erie. And then wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner has a bear recipe in honor of my bear hunt. Harry, what'd you say? Or by dinner, third hunt in a lot of bear. Exactly. If you want to go to you're right, Harry. If you want to go to the far western UP, you can take the third season every year. But I don't have any contacts in the far west. All right. Shall we give away some Speedy Blaze? What is Speedy Blaze, you might ask? I would encourage you to check out the video. Did I pick out a new boat at Apex last week? No, because my new boat's going to be pretty much exactly like my old boat. I shot some video of me starting a Speedy Blaze fire in a solo stove here on our patio. And it'll give you an idea of what Speedy Blaze is, how well it burns and how fast it burns. It is an alternative to firewood because it's water resistant and it's insect resistant. Anybody can start a fire with Speedy Blaze. Ed Bolanowski is still standing by, I am sure. So right now you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes starting right now. If you want to win some Michigan-based Speedy Blaze, you have 3 minutes with the weather. The weather is warmer right now, but it's going to turn cooler next week. What a great time for a fire. And Speedy Blaze is a great product. SpeedyBlaze.com, SpeedyBlaze.com. Make your comments right now. Ed Bolanowski is standing by. You have 2.5 minutes to make your comments and win some Speedy Blaze. And you're right, Gary. Speedy Blaze is pure Michigan. Absolutely it is. Jason checking in. He wants to win. Richard wants to win some Speedy Blaze. And there is Ed Bolanowski as well. Ed will be with us or somebody from Speedy Blaze next week, by the way, as we give away. Pick me, pick me. I could use some Speedy Blaze to roast my hot dogs on. There you go, Mike. So you're going to abandon us again, are you, Mike? When it gets cold here, you're going to bail out and head back to Arizona, are you? I don't blame you. 2 minutes on the Speedy Blaze. A lot of people like Speedy Blaze. I like Speedy Blaze. SpeedyBlaze.com. SpeedyBlaze.com/contest to find the retailers who are involved in the giveaway or involved in the promotion. You can go in there, scan your QR code with your phone, and then you can enter to win a Wraith 270 see-through ground blind, a solo stove, Speedy Blaze products, and Michigan brand meats. A minute and a half on the Speedy Blaze. Saw it last year at the Woods and Water Show. It is. It's a good way to get. And listen, I buy my Speedy Blaze. They don't give it to me. It's like $6 or $7 a package. It's cheaper than firewood, unless you cut your own. It's cheaper than firewood. You got a minute. I don't really keep track. I'm just guessing. You got a minute on the Speedy Blaze. 1 minute on the Speedy Blaze. And then we will draw the winner. Ed will choose the winner. And then you can send me a private message with your shipping information, and I will pass it along to Ed, and they will get it off to you. 15 seconds on the Speedy Blaze. I don't know how we went from a minute to 15 seconds. I have no idea. 10 seconds on the Speedy Blaze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty weak tonight. Contest is over. Ed Bolanowski is very good about choosing the winner. He will choose the winner very quickly, I am sure. Because Ed, there you go. Oh, that's Craig. Come on, baby, light my Speedy Blaze, Gary says. Scott Hand. You know, Scott's in Montana right now on an elk hunt. So since Scott can't take delivery, Ed, of his Speedy Blaze, you just ship it to my house, and I'll hang on to it for Scott. Actually, Scott is probably the guy who's going to buy my boat. So Scott Hand, congratulations on winning some Speedy Blaze. Scott, when you get off the mountain there and you're through elk hunting in Montana, send me a private message with your shipping address, and Ed will send you some Speedy Blaze. Congrats, Scott. And thank you, Ed Bolanowski and Sherm Hubbard and everybody at Speedy Blaze for your generosity. Let's talk about how much is the boat? I don't know. I'm not selling it. Ed, you should get some elk steaks out of the deal. Linwood Beach Marina sets that price. Linwood Beach Marina and Apex Marine set the price. It's not my deal. Let's talk about the debacle with my posting of that big bear on Monday. Here's the story. A lady deer hunter that's not sexist, is it? A female deer hunter in northern Lower Michigan. They had a big bear on their property. I talked to her this afternoon. They had a big bear on their property. In fact, she's going to be on the radio show next week, by the way. Had a big bear on the property. And the bear went nocturnal on them. And they couldn't get it to come into the bait. So they called in a neighbor, a buddy, an acquaintance, a houndsman, and the houndsman brought in his dogs. The dogs, I've talked about it extensively, Jim, but I can talk about it some more. The first night the dogs came in, they couldn't get a track because the bear had apparently left the property. Second time they came in, the houndsman and his dogs, they struck a track and they caught up with this bear. And this bear was so big, it couldn't climb a tree. It was 622 pounds dressed out. So the lady, the hunter, ended up shooting this thing on the ground at 6 yards. She said it's pretty intense, and she is going to tell her story next week on the radio show. So the houndsman sends me these pictures, and I post them on my page, congratulating everybody, because it's a great story. You know, people talk down about hound hunters and houndsmen, and they have negative connotation, but the hound hunters and the hounds saved the hunt for this woman. They allowed her to shoot this big bear. Without the hounds, they wouldn't have got this bear. So I posted it. Went on with my merry way, screwing around the house here, doing work or whatever. Yeah, 6 yards. And the negative comments started to come in toward the houndsman. And he started to get threats. The anti-hunters started to threaten him, and they started to threaten his family. He's got little kids. And it spooked him. It shook him up. And I get that. The first few times I got threats, it spooked me too, because believe me, I've had my share. But I understand that it spooked him. And he said, Mike, will you delete that post? And he was going to be on the radio show with me today. I said, yes, I will delete the post. Of course I'll delete the post. You gave me the information. It's your story. You asked me to take it down. I will take it down. So I did. And then I got accused of caving into the anti-hunters, which just cranked me off to no end, because I will never back down to the anti-hunters. It's not the way I'm made. I believe in what we're doing as hunters and anglers and shooters and trappers. And I will defend that way of life. I will defend that as long as I'm here. So I would never back down to the anti-hunters. So that got so bad that I had to post a video saying why I took the post down. Since then, I've had a conversation with the lady hunter. She says, you can put them back up. And the hound hunter said, yeah, go ahead. Mike says he's been with hound hunters. He said baiting is a way easier method of hunting than with hounds. So some things to learn from this story, and I think there are a lot of lessons here. Number one, hound hunters are pretty cool, and hound hunters and the houndsmen and the dogs can get things done that a bait hunter can't get done, and this is proof of that. And I give the bait hunters a lot of credit for being sharp enough and willing to call in the houndsmen to make this happen. So there's one lesson. Number two, when we put stuff online, it's open to the world. What I'm doing right now is open to the world. Your comments to me right now are open to the world. Things that you post on your personal Facebook page are not private. Anybody can see them. Now, I expect when I put things on my, I'm going to respond to your comments here. When I post things on my page, I assume that they're going to be seen by a fairly large number of people most times. You don't necessarily think that when you post on your page, right? You're thinking it's just going out to a few friends, maybe, but it's not. Anybody can see it. So we as an outdoor community need to keep that in mind these days. Gone are the days of taking a picture of your harvest, sliding it in your wallet or in your front pocket and taking it out to show your buddies. In that case, back then, the bloodier the better, right? Because we know as hunters, when we make a good, quick, clean, humane killing shot, there's going to be a lot of blood. And that is satisfying to a hunter. Now, I'm not worried about offending the non-hunters. In fact, I'm not worried about offending the anti-hunters. In fact, I'm all for offending anti-hunters because they will never get our way of life. What concerns me, what bothers me is all these big people in the middle. You've got us on one side, hardcore hunters and anglers. You got these people over here who are hardcore antis, but then you've got all those people in the middle. 80% of those people in the middle. And the people in the middle who don't hunt or fish are the ones who will determine our future when they go to the polls. For that reason alone, I think it's important that when we are online, we portray ourselves in a positive manner. Now, not that these bear hunters weren't. They were an unfortunate victim. Two issues here. Just keep in mind that when you're online, anybody can see it. And I would suggest, I would ask that you do what you can to continue to portray our way of life in a positive manner, which includes such stupid little things, put the animal's tongue back in the mouth. And rather than take a picture in a 2-gallon bucket of blood there on the ground, just pull the deer over or the bear over 10 feet and take that picture there. That's all I'm asking. And it's not caving to the anti-hunters. It's doing what we can to stay in good light with the non-hunters. Now, when it comes to the anti-hunters, the first time that I was really threatened online was over a bear hunt. And somebody said, they posted, I don't like the way you killed that bear. I'm going to come to your house and kill you. And I've had a lot of those. And at this point, I don't even give them credence. Because I know how to protect myself. And I don't think those anti-hunters really, I don't, they're not all here. I mean, they're not here. But in my case, I'd had enough. And I went to the local sheriff's department because I lived out of the city at the time. I lived out in the county. So my uh, police department was the sheriff's department. I went there. I found a detective who was a hunter. He took up the case and he started to investigate it. An online threat against a legal hunter. He took it back as far as he could. They found it to an IP address. I think it was in New Jersey. The deputy here in Michigan, the detective, got in touch with a couple of, again, I think it was New Jersey state troopers who went to the house where the threat originated from. They knock on the door. A lady answers the door. She said, I have no idea what you're talking about. The troopers say, does anybody else live in this house? She said, well, yeah, my son does. Ding, 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 ding. Troopers come inside. They talk to the son. They explain the situation. The son said, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. Well, the troopers told the detective I was working with that they were convinced that the kid was the one who made the threat. And of course, being a kid in New Jersey, there's no way he could make good on it. But they scared the hell out of him, which is what we all wanted to have happen, right? It's an interesting world that we live in. The world that I grew up in is gone. Everybody is anxious to get offended. Everybody's anxious to get hurt. Everybody's anxious to get riled up. The way I look at hunting and fishing, especially in today's COVID world, is it is one place we can go to get away from everything. We can get away with everything. Get away from everything. I just got a text here that was pretty disturbing. I see it, Scott. I see it. I had talked to Glenn earlier, and I know what you're saying. Looking at my feed on my laptop here, it looks like my internet speed just dropped off. It looks pretty pixelated. It's a different world these days. The fact that we have to be worried about how we portray ourselves, the fact that we have to be worried about what we put online is a shame. It's not right. It shouldn't be. But you know what? It is. It is. A lot of things in this world we shouldn't have to deal with like we are right now, but we do. It's like whether you buy into CWD or not, whether you buy into COVID or not, it doesn't matter. You are a victim of it because the powers that be believe it, and they will put their restrictions on us accordingly, and we then have to deal with it. To be honest with you, in my opinion, there really isn't much we can do as far as the hardcore anti-hunters. We're not going to change their mind, just like they're not going to change our mind. So let's put our emphasis, let's put our energies on that group in the middle, the non-hunters and anglers. They see us out there, but they have no preconceived notion. So if we can interact with them in person or online and do it in a positive manner and show them why we're out there, we're having fun, we're stewards of the resource, our money helps pay for wildlife conservation. You know, the Tweety bird watchers have property to go look at birds because we as hunters paid for it. But not everybody knows that. So I think it's up to us to let people know that that's the case. So anyway, she will be on with me on next week's show because since I already recorded this week's show, it was too late to have her on there. God-given rights. This cranks people off when I talk about God-given rights. To me, I describe hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping as biologically sound, biologically necessary, legal, and I always say, and ordained by God. And that sometimes it takes it too far and people get mad. Oh my goodness. You had the cops called on me for skinning a deer one time. What did they say? Two questions, Michael. What did the people who called on you say? Did they say you were doing some kind of animal mutilation? animal cruelty. And what did the cops say when they showed up? That's the interesting part. What did the cops say when they showed up? Well, thank you, my friend. We need to go fishing again next summer, Jim. What else is on your mind, my friends? I got a few more minutes. I'm going to go about another 5 minutes tonight. Want to remind you of a couple things. 2 contests right now. The Fall Hunter Contest from Speedy Blaze. Go to speedyblaze.com/contest. There you'll find a list of retailers. Go into one of those stores, take your phone out, scan the QR code there, and then you can enter the contest to win a Wraith 270 see-through ground blind, solo stove, some great Speedy Blaze products, and some great Michigan brand meats products. We will give those away. We will announce those winners 1 week from tonight right here on Wednesday Night Live. The other one is another chance to win one of those Wraith 270 blinds. It's on Instagram. You have to follow Primal Tree Stands. You have to follow Outdoor Pregame, and you have to follow me, Mike Avery Outdoors. Make a comment on my post and tag a friend on it, and then you're entered. Oh, let's see. Well, Mike said what they went in. I didn't. I saw that you had the cops called on you, but you say the cop said it was nice, nice, and then they went on their merry way. And ordained by God it is. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Excellent, Vance. Glad to hear that. Vance, by the way, since he just posted that, Vance is the hound hunter that I'm talking about here. Vance is the houndsman who allowed her to shoot her big bear because they weren't going to get that bear without his hounds. How cool is that? That's a good question, Ed. That's why I haven't promoted it. I think the discount is over. That's why I haven't pushed it. Thank you, Gary. So here's what's going to happen tomorrow morning, mid-morning, because Johnny doesn't get out of work tomorrow till 4. Tomorrow morning, I'm headed to the UP up to Newberry and Seney area. Scott says he came to full draw on 2 elk today, but he didn't get a shot. And I'm going to hunt Friday. Normally, when I bear hunt, we hunt at night in the evening. But there is so much daytime activity on Johnny's baits that I'm thinking I want to go out there about mid-morning and sit all day. There are multiple nice bears coming in during the daylight hours. I am a little stressed. I can't tell you why. I don't know if it's because of the anti-hunter thing, some other responsibilities I'm dealing with, getting ready for this trip or what. But I admit I am a little stressed tonight. Nothing a little maker's mark can't take care of. Hey, Ace, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Josh says pretty soon the best part of walleye season will start on Saginaw Bay. Hopefully I still have the Angler Quest. You weren't here earlier, were you, Josh? I took the Angler Quest across to Linwood Beach last Thursday. The Angler Quest is now in the hands of the folks at Linwood Beach Marina. It's no longer mine. Craig, I got to tell you something. I am absolutely out of cigars right now. I discovered that this morning when I went to the studio. I'm absolutely out of cigars. But you can count, you can bet that by the time I hit the road for the UP, I will have restocked my, this is interesting. Been to 2 Sunrise stores with a display, but no QR code to scan. Yale and Fort Gratiot. Thank you, Sal, for that. Were they listed on the website? Ed Bolanowski, are you still here? If so, if you could respond to Sal, I would appreciate it very much. Shot your first bear on Saturday. Super excited for the bear meat. I know you love brats, but what else would you recommend for cuts or recipes? Burger. In my mind, bears should be burger and brats. I'm not interested in a bear. You were in the Yale store on Friday. Okay. I'm not interested in a bear steak. I'm certainly not interested in a bear roast, but bear jerky, bear brats, and bear burger. Look out, baby. In fact, I already talked to Nick Grillo at Michigan Brand Meats, and I'm going to have them take care of me. Thank you, Louis. Appreciate that. Hunted in Maine. We hunted all day. We didn't shoot anything in the morning, but 3 have since been shot. All in the morning. We were 3 for 4. Good for you. My son sat all day, Cameron says, and he's hunting near, sat all day. He shot his at 1:30 on the third day, just down the road from where I'll be hunting. Cam, you don't really exactly know exactly where I'm hunting, though. At least I don't think, unless you know Johnny. If you know Johnny, you probably do. What? My wife loves bear tacos, but how do you make bear tacos? You make bear tacos with bear burger, right? All right, my friends, that's going to do it. It's going to wrap up this edition of Wednesday Night Live. I'm heading to the UP tomorrow. I will hunt Friday night. Well, I'll hunt Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will come home Monday to get ready for the radio show. And if I have to, I'll go back. Johnny says he'll keep the baits open. Tracy said I had some of the best bear brats ever. Oh, cool. So I will be doing a Wednesday Night Live next week where we'll give away some cool products, speedyblaze.com/contest. And wish me luck in the UP. I'm in good hands with Johnny. I've been shooting a lot. I feel as comfortable as I can be with a recurve. I'm in a good spot with a good guide, an active bait. The weather's not going to cooperate, but hey, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go live. I will post some updates, but I'm not going to be able to go live. All right, my friends, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Keep an eye on my Instagram feed, the Twitter feed, and the Facebook page for updates from my bear hunt in the UP. And I'll talk with you next week right here on Wednesday Night Live.